Hi, and welcome to the HR Insider. Today we're going to continue our conversation on local politics and how to get involved. This time we're discussing local politics, though, from the perspective of what your local chamber can do for you.
And we would love to welcome our friend Jill McCartney. She is the CEO of the Northwest Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the HR Insider. We love having you.
Sure, thanks for having me here.
Yes. So my first question, Jill, is tell us a little bit about your love of politics. What kind of sparked that in you, and how old you were? Were you young? Was it in college? And then tell us a little bit about your role with the Northwest Oklahoma City Chamber.
Okay. Well, I was introduced to politics at a pretty young age as my dad was a friend that he knew from high school was running for statewide office. Okay. And so we stuffed envelopes and put up yard signs and just did the regular campaign kind of stuff when I was about 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so that really made an imprint on me. And as I grew older in college, I did an internship at the state capitol. And 1 year I was an exit pollster for the gubernatorial election.
Wow.
And so when I got out of college, I moved to DC and got a job on the Hill.
Oh,
and worked there and continued working in politics and a couple of stints on the Hill until about 94. I decided to get out of politics after that. Over time, I've worked on about a dozen different political campaigns, a lot of them at the congressional or statewide level. And then I got out of it and moved to Atlanta for a bit and ended up getting back into it even more heavily as a very strong activist. And whenever I moved back to Oklahoma in 2003, I got a job at the state capitol. Okay. And working as a legislative assistant. And through that process, got involved with, we held a couple of Council of State Governments and the Southern Legislative Conference, national and regional conferences, and organizing all of that stuff. And in 2008, November, I came to work with the Northwest Oklahoma City Chamber and found that all of that experience really applied well with what I'm doing now.
I feel like I need a dictionary and just go back through everything you just said and look up all of these different words. Like, what does that even mean? What does this job mean? Like, what do you even do? I don't even know. But that's how little I know about politics. I'm like, all right, on the Hill means Washington. Okay, good. At least I know that much, right?
Yeah.
Like, it means a political place of people.
Yeah, and in working in campaigns and stuff. And really you don't need to know all of that. All you need to know is that I've got quite a bit of experience in that, and it helps to inform as I'm working now with the chamber. So as we're doing what we're doing now, I'm actually in some ways the least political that I've been, but working it from a different perspective. Mm-hmm. I'm coming at it more from a policy perspective and in helping people navigate through the political waters, and less as a partisan or working more as an advocate for our businesses and really not so concerned. We're also much more on the local level and the statewide level, and while we have good relations at the federal level with our elected officials there, we have much more of an impact the closer government is. And that's kind of one of the rules of politics, is the closer it is, the more it typically impacts your daily life. Mm-hmm. We see federal politics seems to get the most of the press and public's attention, but in terms of what's impacting your daily life, what is happening at your local city, school board, and county and state level has much more of an impact on your daily life.
So with our experience with the chamber, we've been hanging out for, I think you reminded me, like it's like a year and a half now, that we've been participating, our Easy Time Clock's been participating in the chamber. I think I was just very selective on what things that I participated in and sort of skipped over the political opportunities that you guys were presenting. But now that I'm a little bit more open and saying, yeah, I should know that and I should know what's actually happening. Is it about a third of what the chamber does is informing the local community about the different options and different things that are going on politically? I mean, I know we have new events now for that, so it feels like it's a pretty big part.
It's really interesting that you mentioned that, because as what a chamber does and how is a chamber different from another civic group or a business association, being an advocate and helping people be informed on the issues and navigate through when they have to interact with government, knowing who to talk with or what to do, it's a really important part of what the chamber does. And really any chamber that is doing its job, advocacy and government involvement is a huge part of that. I think a lot of people shy away from, like, politics is scary or unknown or is
big.
So they don't even try to, sometimes people get cross with each other and don't treat each other well, and so a lot of people tend to just stay away from it. And in reality, it's really important as a business owner, it's really important to understand what's going on and to be able to interact with those, to have relationships. One of the real things that we base a lot of our involvement on is you've got to have a relationship there with your elected officials. Whether you like them or not, they're doing things on your behalf. And so you need to have a good relationship with them. You need to always be courteous and cordial. And even if you're asking them to do something that pretty much they might not go your way, if you cultivate a good relationship and are courteous to them, they will treat you likewise and you'll go a lot further. I'm always surprised when people rant and rave, curse, are terribly ugly to elected officials. That just doesn't make any sense. And so one of the real guidelines that we would encourage everyone is, if you participate with us and hang out with us and go to that, you're going to be building a relationship with your state leaders, with your county and local leaders, and you never know when you might need that and to call upon them. And if they go, oh yeah, I remember you came to my office, and you're going to be treated as a person and as someone that they've got, instead of someone that is calling up and yelling and complaining.
I agree.
So be kind. That's
kind.
The rule.
And also, Jill has encouraged us as business owners. Now, we don't necessarily live where our office is, so we can't vote in this district.
Right.
We can't have a voice in the polls, but I love what you're saying, how important it is to still have those relationships with your representatives for your business, because your voice can influence them on decisions that are going to affect your business, even if you don't live in that area. Some people do live where they work.
Yeah, it's as if you're an elected official, you're going to really key off of two main things, and that is, do they live in our area and are they a voter that votes for me? Mm-hmm. And then the second is their business located in my area? Right. And those are going to be the two, for each elected official, the two things that they key off of most. But a third quotient is, how many people do you employ? Right. And where do those people live? Mm-hmm. Because any elected official, those are kind of three key elements that they are going to put into understanding your business and how it works and how they are going to interact with you. So as you're introducing yourself to an elected official, those are some key pieces of information if you've got something that ties in. As we're working with the Northwest Oklahoma City area, there are about 12 legislators at the state legislature that serve our area. And so we would try to include all of them in all of our activities because through working with all of them, they cover different issues. And they kind of work not exactly as a team, but in support of one another, knowing that as they're making decisions, you're crossing boundaries all the time.
Sure.
and how you're doing that. But yes, I would encourage everybody to get to know the person that represents you where you live, as well as where your office is.
And the Chamber offers several of opportunities throughout the year to learn that. You guys have the Community Connect, right? That is someone in the area, I missed the last two, so I guess I'm not sure what actually happens there.
Sure.
But you have the Community Connect, and tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So we have a whole government affairs program. One of the things that we do every year is put together a slate of legislative issues that we are supporting and opposing, and we do that every year in January. Over the course of the year, we have events called Community Connect, which is a morning thing. You've got a little bit of time to mingle, but then we will have 1, 2, or 3 different people there to present different issues of interest. And it has varied everything from someone from the Oklahoma City County Health Department to inform us about flu prevention in the height of flu season, to somebody came and talked about the Step Up program when that was going. The last couple of them have been education. We had people from the Putnam City and the Bethany Public Schools Foundation there to talk, as well as Feed the Children. We've had it at the Dale Rogers Training Center to learn about the efforts that they've got going on, as well as the 23rd Street revitalization efforts that the City of Oklahoma City has got going on. And the last couple of meetings, we have had some big primary elections, and so we have invited all of the candidates in a certain area that was near where we were to come, and for our people just to come and meet them, and a complete meet and greet, kind of a coffee where you could talk directly with some of them. At different times in the past, we have had candidate forums, and that works really well. We also have always have a day at the state capitol where we go out and meet with the legislators in their offices, and right now we're getting ready for our annual State of the State Legislative Luncheon, and that is always a big deal. We invite all of those 12 legislators to come out and to report on the legislative session that just was. A lot of times we will film videos of the different candidates up for office that people can access and watch to learn a little bit more about the people that they would be voting on. And we also usually about once a year we'll have one of our federal elected officials in and give them a chance to talk. We have had candidate forums and different other activities at both the school board and the city council levels. And here in our Northwest Oklahoma City area, we actually have 5 different municipalities that we work with, and I believe 5 different school boards also. Wow. So when you look at all of it, there's almost 40 different elected officials that cover our Northwest Oklahoma City area. And so it's our business to know who all those people are and know kind of what their jurisdiction is, so that if you as a citizen, as a business owner, as a member are having a problem with one of those, and you're not really sure who do you turn to get this done, if you'll call and visit with me about it, because of my background, I will be able to figure out who it is that you need to talk with and get you connected there in such a way that you can get your problem solved.
Well, it sounds like the Chamber can offer the opportunity for anybody who is a little nervous about politics and wants to learn more and ease their way in. The coffees are a great place to start that, and the more involved you want to be, the more informative you want to be by going to some of these other events. And I know through Leadership Northwest, we spent a day at the Capitol and we got to meet the mayor and do a variety of other things that I had never been exposed to as well through Leadership Northwest. So that's a great thing too.
October the 12th is the date that you need to be registered to vote so that you can vote in the November 6th general election. So November 6th is the general election, and this year we will be electing governor, lieutenant governor, and all the statewide offices half of the Senate and all of the House for our state level, as well as our congressional level. We don't have, neither one of our U.S. senators are up this year, but
lots of opportunity.
And we'll
lots
put
of
those
opportunities
dates up, so to remind you guys, and some websites too, to where you can get more information on how to register, where to vote, and all of that. Thank you again, Jill, for taking time out of your day to come. I learned a lot already just talking with you, and more about you and your background. So again, thank you for watching. Again, if you have any questions or ideas, please leave them in the comments. Thank you.